Welcome to the Make Me Better podcast. Hey everybody, I'm Misty Rooks, and this is the Make Me Better podcast. This is our By Design segment with my co-host, Dr. Chad McDill.
Hey there. Another great week.
So,
I'm not as fashionable as you, but
no, but I'm ready for summer. So
Absolutely.
that's why I've got my sunglasses on.
Absolutely.
So this is our summer edition, okay? Summer session number 1. With Dr. Chad on By Design. And I love me some big sunglasses.
Man, they look good. I mean, I like big sunglasses too, man.
Yeah, I wore these to the pool yesterday. But we have some information for you about sunglasses.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about it.
Okay.
Let's dive in.
First thing for our summer edition, sunglasses versus no sunglasses. What's good or bad for you and the why?
All right. Well, I think that it depends on how much you're out. You know, for me, and for a lot of people, like 5 days a week, I'm inside for 12 hours.
True.
And so for most people who aren't going to be outside from the crack of dawn till the sun goes down, need to wake up and get outside first thing in the morning and get some sunlight in their eyes. No filters, not even these glasses. Like I don't even wear these because they have UV protection on them. And they turn into sunglasses when I go outside.
Okay.
And so my morning routine is I go out without even my corrective lenses and get some sunlight because that's what tells your brain to produce cortisol. The certain wavelengths in the morning are different than wavelengths in the evening.
Yes.
So the morning wavelengths tell your brain to start amping up cortisol, and that's the long-acting, hormone for stress and even positive stress. Now, chronic levels, everybody talks about cortisol like it's a demon.
But you need it.
You
like
do need it.
It's part
just,
of the design.
Exactly. It is part of the design. It's just in certain amounts. Yeah. And then it wakes you up. And then as the daylight changes, you need those wavelengths coming into your eyes to tell your body to start produce melatonin and calm down cortisol, and the day is ending. Yeah. So that, for most of us, is no glasses.
Yeah.
Now, going to the pool.
Right.
Different scenario.
Okay. Yeah, because you don't want to be blinded.
Yeah, you don't want to get, it's a, increased risk macular degeneration and cataracts and all this kind of stuff. So you get your sunglasses, UV of, say 400 or something, that rating that then you wear when you're out for prolonged periods of time. And, there are different lenses for different functions. So blue for water and all kinds of stuff. You select your different ones for the different purpose you want.
All right. Okay. So you did touch on this a little bit. If you're having trouble sleeping, and because we have more, the time change. So daylight, sunset's about 8:30 or 9 or so. So if you are having trouble winding down and going to sleep in the summer, really what you need to do is get outside in the morning if you can and get some morning sunlight.
Yes. And then you need that evening sunlight to, your eyes to say, hey, no, things changing. And the problem becomes that we're seeing just blue light in lots of amounts from screens. If you're not wearing blue light glasses, then you're getting the wrong kind of light at the wrong time of day. And that's telling your brain to stay awake. And so it's keeping your hormones different. That's what the blue light glasses and that technology has come to do, is to help your body have a better perception of what time it is.
Yeah. So, technology can be so cool. I mean, we're using it now, but at the same time, all the screen time.
Yeah. We know that it really isn't supposed to be more than 2 hours in a day, especially for our children. But yet when you put together e-learning and all the stuff, the hours are just out of balance. And it's like anything that God made. It's supposed to be a balance.
Yeah.
I don't like snakes, but supposedly they kill rodents, and therefore we need them. I will openly admit. So that's one of those balancing acts I could do without, but whatever.
Me too. But everything works together, right?
Exactly.
Right. So it's summertime. If you can get your kids outside in the morning.
Absolutely. And then that relates to our vitamin D, our next topic, right?
Yes. Vitamin D versus sunscreen, though. All right, there we go. So again, it depends on time of day and amount of time you're going to be out, but ideally, 50% of your body exposed for at least a half an hour every day between the hours of 10 and 1 is going to give you more ample production of vitamin D. Now, versus getting too burnt and the risk of skin cancer or something like that. So if you're putting on sunscreen during that half an hour of exposure, then you're not getting the vitamin D. Now you're protecting your skin, but if it's really only a half an hour, come on, just get the vitamin D. The sunscreen and the skin cancer and all that stuff, that's for those of us or those people who worked outside for hours and hours, getting crispy fried all the time. And, really is more head and neck. Wear a big hat if you're going to be out for a long time. But you want that amount. And then I think our converts into, if you're the darker skin you have, so African Americans, they're going to make even less vitamin D. So you have someone in vitamin D is compromised by being obese. And so you put multiple factors together, you become more and more vitamin D deficient. There's this research out of Sweden that was done where they looked at interventions to make you live longer, like lower your bioage, and incidence of risk of cancer. So they looked at it and they said that taking omegas and making sure you have ample amount of omega oils, at least 2 grams a day, and you're in the high omega index up near 8, that it gives you at least an extra 3 or 4 months of life and decreases your frailty. Now, if you then add in exercise with that, like high intensity interval training, weightlifting, things like that on a regular basis, now you're getting on out towards 5 years of more life. That's good news.
You've reduced and then they did a synergistic thing where when your vitamin D levels, they added that, and that's what took it all the way out to the 5 years. And so then you get all 3 of those things going for you. Now you're getting an extra 5 years of life. But one of the biggest things is there's a decreased risk of invasive cancer by like 66%. 90% reduction in the risk of having advanced cardiovascular disease.
That's some great news.
Right?
Yeah.
So now summertime, right? I mean, like, get out with the kids and play and the football, the things we talked about in the last episode of, or maybe I think it was, but, to get that vitamin D is to have those activities planned, set yourself up.
Yes. And I will say this too, if you're a new mom or you have little kids with fair skin and you are so worried about it, I remember it used to be such a hassle when Sophie was a toddler because I would think every time we went outside, I had to just slather the sunscreen on her to protect her because she was my baby. And then I finally realized if we're going out for 30 minutes or an hour, she's not going to get burned in that time probably if we're not at the beach or something. And so just take that time every day. You don't use the spray sunscreen.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So you want to protect them, but also if you go out a little bit every day, you're not going to get burned like that.
It's just like anything else. Usage, it depends on the dose and the time of day and also your exposure. Just like I wouldn't go out and ask somebody to run a marathon with me, but I might ask them to go run a mile.
Yeah.
And the same thing, if you're used to going out for an hour or 2 every day, then your skin's already brown and it changes throughout the summer, and just use those. That's a great point for the young moms and people. We all went through it. We all young parents. And then for sunscreen though, sunscreen. She has a link for that we planned for from ewg.org has a list of the best and safest sunscreens. So
Yes.
non-toxic sunscreens. So, and most of them are going to be the kind that you apply, not the sprays that get everywhere and you
Oh my
inhale them.
goodness. And when people are spraying those and I'm walking by, I'm just like,
Choke.
you know, like, so it's not good to breathe that either. Not great for your skin.
You don't
and
get a sunburn on your lungs,
yeah.
right? Just a thought.
Yeah. And I think the app is called the Healthy Living app
Yes,
too.
the app is Healthy Living.
ewg.org or the Healthy Living app.
If you've downloaded it. Yep, Food Scores and Healthy Living. Great ones to scan everything.
Okay. So the next topic is what kind of activity should we do or can we do? Maybe something fun for summertime. And so we don't overheat and stuff too. So what can you tell us about that? Because we're telling you to get outside, but also we don't want you to push it and like have heat exhaustion or a heat stroke or something.
Yeah, I think so. So I think the best routine, and doesn't matter whether you're listening to Patrick or Huberman or Sinclair, everybody's agreeing. The research shows that hydration is key. So wake up in the morning. I add some either Designs for Health vitamin C based electrolytes, or some Element, LMNT, or some Vicera is another good brand that I add some electrolytes to my water and I chug at least 24 ounces of water first thing in the morning. Like, get hydrated. As soon as you wake up, dump a lot of water, a lot of electrolytes into the body. And then at least, then that's when you go outside, you get your sunlight first thing in the morning, maybe move around, get limbered up, get some stretching in, and then come back while the coffee's brewing, of course. And then you go, exactly, you got to plan this stuff. And then you go out, get the sunlight, come back in, get your coffee. You've waited in long enough to let that water go out of your stomach so that then you could eat if you're going to. But I think that's one thing, key, hydration. Drinking half an ounce of water per pound of body mass throughout the day, but starting by front loading in the morning is one way. The other thing we like is when we're really going to do like hardcore, like if our kids are playing soccer. So, we have a kind of just not so good looking little cooler that we then put ice and water in, and those towels, they're kind of a non-absorbent type of towel, and you just soak them in the ice water and we leave them in there. And then everybody has their one. You dip it in there, you squeeze it out, put it on you when you feel like, man, I'm getting overheated. And then you just throw it back in there and it gets cold again. And that's there for the soccer field or the whatever. And love those things.
Yeah. Oh, so the football team needs some of those.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Okay.
Those are my main for overheating. Just make sure you're getting enough electrolytes. Of course, if you have blood pressure issues and things like that, consult your doctor and how you're going to do that. We use the vitamin C things for my elderly patients who might be on diuretics or something. They're avoiding salt and things like that. So it just, again, situation dependent, but make sure it's safe for you, but you definitely need them.
Okay. So I will say my favorite activity in the summer and my kids is swimming. We love to be at the pool. So what's your favorite thing to do outside?
Hike to swimming. Yeah, like the creeks and things like that and hiking around and then getting to splash around or going and hikes near the lake and then going swimming. Rafting is probably one of my biggest favorites. Whitewater rafting is definitely.
I am laughing because I have a story about that. I fell out of the raft one time.
Yeah. What river?
No, it was the Nantahala. I think I still have some Nantahala up my nose. That was
at least
like
that water's clean.
15 years ago, but it's still in there.
Yeah, man. I understand. And that water's cold.
Yes. But yeah, so that's fun. So fun.
Yeah.
Let's think. What's something that we can do? You already said one thing that's low cost that you can do. You can go hiking.
Absolutely. And right here we have the oh, come on, it's the bottom trail.
Cloudland Canyon?
Cloudland Canyon coming in from the
Sitton's
bottom.
Gulch?
Sitton's Gulch is from the bottom. Cloudland Canyon's right here. There's the mountain biking trails that go out of Cloudland Canyon State Park. You park over near where the pool used to be and where the disc golf area is. And right there, you've got entrance to the state park and over 50 miles of mountain biking. Some amazing things. You can ride all the way into Chattanooga. I can't, but maybe you can. I am not fit enough for that. But then, especially the getting back up. And then, to touch base on something else, I think that looking at all this is getting back to the summer foods too. Watermelon was God's first, Gatorade. Right.
Okay.
I mean, it's sugar, it's salt, it's all the fiber that goes along with it. So it doesn't have as much of a glycemic index. It's like, so cold watermelon and keeping that with you on these adventures. Remember that oranges and grapefruits and things like that, putting those in cooler, there's something about them being really cold during the summer. Eating those, eating those hydrating, but the stuff that has the fiber, it's about the fiber matrix that makes the sugar less glycemic index. And so we don't want to be going on blood sugar binges all summer long. We want to be doing this healthy, right?
Yeah.
And so we know that every time insulin spikes, we're storing more visceral fat, and we're it's making us more metabolically sick. So eat the fruits and the vegetables and get your summer food in. There's just so many things that we can transition into.
What are you growing right now in your garden?
Growing lettuce. We're growing tomatoes and squash, zucchini, cucumbers, our hot peppers, and our herbs, because they're also expensive to buy. The more we can grow, we save. I've got 12 blueberry bushes and then a bunch of thornless blackberries. I've got 2 fence rows full of those. And so just all those things, because berries are expensive to buy.
They are.
And so might as well grow those.
Yeah.
If you got a fence line, just plant you some thornless blackberries and they take care of themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. It's easy.
Awesome.
Yeah. Anywhere you got a fence line.
Okay. So what else do we want to touch on for summer fun, activity, food? What else are we missing here? Safety?
Safety, man. I think that, just being aware and like every time we go out to our property, we go ahead. We know there's snakes in our area, so we go ahead and mow and get our fields cut down so they're not quite as overgrown with rodents and things like that the snakes want to go after. I think that ticks, we even hear from Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has just put on a major thing, signing in several $1 million to do research to fight I think it's alpha gout, this is one and then Lyme disease. So being aware of that, doing the checkity check every time you come in, and every time the kids come in from playing during the summer, it's just the checkity check. You're heading to the shower and we're checking, and no ticks.
Absolutely.
Those are horrible, often lifelong, but there are protocols out there. Realizing that Dr. McCullough and there's on EWG, there's on many sites, things that are protocols, Dr. Josh Axe, different people have protocols to help fight Lyme's disease, different things. And we are bringing it out in Max Living soon. We'll have certain supplement protocols, things like that. Those are things to come with metabolics.
All right. Okay. Last question, maybe, unless you have something else.
Whatever.
Okay. Last question. If you and your family are invited to a cookout, and it's at someone else's house who does not have the same healthy lifestyle that you do, what are you doing? Are you bringing your own food or what? How does that go?
Yeah, I'm bringing my own food, and I'm trying to convince my kids to still eat my food. That's the hard one. Like, I'm fine. But yeah, with my wife being a vegetarian, we already tote our food most of the time anywhere.
Gotcha.
So we just bring extra salad, extra nuts and pecans and walnuts and things in that salad, bringing a couple of avocados, bringing things like that we know we can eat. And then, but I think that to those events, a lot of times, it's more about making sure my wife has something to eat. And because a lot of grilling outs, just, meats and things like that. I kind of let it go. I get a little bit looser there than I normally do. You know what I mean?
Dr. Chad gets wild, you guys.
Yeah, man.
He might eat a hamburger or a hot dog.
I will actually eat a couple of those Doritos. Now, that's what I'm looking for. Somebody's got some Cool Ranch Doritos, I'm in.
Cool Ranch Doritos.
Yeah, it's Cool Ranch, but it's only that day. It's just, I don't take the bag home with me. And I think that if that's all we did was at those events, man, we're golden.
Yeah.
But it's the things that are in our pantry that are really killing us. And that's when it comes home with you, that's when the problem is. Just like my family just got back from South Carolina on a vacation, and I got pictures of faces full of ice cream, and I'm so glad because they don't get that at home. So I'm glad they went out and had some ice cream.
Yeah.
But again, it's summertime. Dipping your toe into those things is fine. It's just don't do a jackknife into the pool and stay under all summer in a sea of ice cream and Doritos.
There you go. Good analogy. Love it.
Not, obviously I have some experience. It's true. All right.
Okay. Well, you know what? I think we covered a whole lot about
Absolutely.
Summertime, nutrition,
Sunlight,
exercise,
vitamin D.
sunlight, all the things. So if you want to know where you need to go hiking, biking, swimming, whatever, just ask Dr. Chad. Apparently he knows all the spots around here.
I do.
And you know what? Have fun.
Absolutely.
Have fun this summer. And I hope you get some family time and take some of these tips and think about them.
I think planning these things is it's almost as much fun like you're planning and figuring out all these things for summer and when are we going to fit the hiking, the rafting, the mountain biking, what are we going to do new this summer? I put a badminton/volleyball net out in my yard this year. I don't play any of those things, but I'm going to this summer. Set out the cornhole boards that always stayed hidden in the garage.
Yeah.
All that stuff that's in places that you don't really use, just break it out. And I guarantee your kids will lure you into, ooh, we don't do that. And then you have to do it to make sure, it's
Yeah. And I'll say this as a mom, now I'm a stay-at-home mom who homeschools. And before that, I was a teacher. So I was very fortunate that I had the summers off with my kids and long breaks with my kids. And I noticed a few summers ago, they would get up first thing and start asking to go outside. And I would say, let me do this first. Let me do these dishes. Let me finish this first. I have to write this email. Let me get this done and then we'll go out. And I just want to encourage you, schedule the outside time first if you can, and then do the other things that you can do around it, because it will never happen the rest of the day if you keep saying, let me finish this. Oh, I need to do another load of laundry, and let me just finish this first turns into all day long they're still begging to go outside and do something. So if you schedule that first, and it doesn't mean that you have to do it first, but just get it on your to-do list and then work around it. I know that when I'm more intentional on like spending time with them in the morning or doing something with them and they know that it's happening, then I can go get those other things done a little bit easier because then they've already had their time with me. They've already done something that they want to do. And so if you're at home all day long with your children, schedule some time with them first, schedule that outside time first, and then and do what you can and work around that.
And it works within all the paradigm of what we were just talking about with early light and less UV. You're not going to get burned as easy and all those things. It's one of the big things. And then come in and get all that stuff during the day, and then you get to go back out in the evening light, and that schedules again the light, the circadian rhythm, all the things. I thoroughly agree. Glad you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So One last tip. That was it.
All right. I hope y'all have a blessed summer and look forward to seeing y'all on this next episode.
All right. And thank you for listening to the Make Me Better podcast.